alaikum and a very good afternoon. I'm Siti Najla as interviewer 1 and the other is Sarah Khadijah as interviewer 2. So before we get started, could you introduce yourself a little, like telling about your name, where you are from, and what you are studying?
Assalamualaikum and good morning. My name is Muhammad Adam Syahmi bin Sazali and I am from Sabah. Currently, I am studying at College Professional Mara Seri Iskandar.
Alright, so that's amazing to hear. Um, so the reason we wanted to interview you today is that to explore how culture, especially language and communication skills, shapes the way we interact with others. Like coming from Sabah, you have probably experienced a lot of cultural diversity, and we are really interested in hearing your perspective. So, if you are ready, I'll start with the first question. For question one, imagine you are talking to a classmate. Have you noticed if some people like to stand closer or farther away when you're having a conversation? What do you think about this, especially as someone from Sabah?
The first, the early stage of me coming to the Semenanjung is that mostly the Sabah person speak too fast and like high note. And some of them will stay further from me because they think I am angry or they don't understand what I said. And I try to slower my pace during talking and over my turn. But there are also someone who are stay closer to me because they want to know and learn how the Sabahan speak.
Okay,
That's
so like, how do you personally feel when someone stands too close or too far when you are talking? Does it make you uncomfortable?
no, it doesn't make me uncomfortable because I know what I, what makes them further and what makes them come closer. So I will try to teach them or to let them know anything they want to know about Sabah.
Okay, all right. So moving on to question two. Have you ever been in a situation where a nonverbal action like avoiding eye contact was misunderstood by someone from a different culture?
And I have never felt uncomfortable even if the culture or other races because in Malaysia we all know that we have many cultures we need to explore to learn and we need to adapt how we in certain places.
I see. So, do you think like the nonverbal communication, like eye contact, is important as verbal communication?
Well, yes, because eye contact usually show the expressions of people, but we cannot judge too early because some of them may have angry or the lazy face they like to use, or it is the normal time. So we need to stand closer, or we need to deeply ask them so that we know how their non-verbal working.
Okay, thank you. So let's proceed with question three. Do you have difficulties understanding the humor of Semenanjung people, like especially in terms of context, since the slang used isn't always the same?
And yes, that is the main factor. We should not communicate with others because we do not understand how the new people is because they use words don't know the meaning that I need to learn. And even though I already know, I don't know how their thing works.
Okay, so can you think of an example of the slang that confused you at first?
The slang, just sometimes some people use put E in every of the A words at the end of a sentence that make me confused.
Okay. So next is question 4. Is there a specific emblem or gesture that's practiced among Sabahan people? Like for example, I've heard of the salam gesture where one places their hand over their heart after a handshake as a symbol of respect and sincerity.
Well, as a Saban people, so many cultures than Semenanjung. Well, in my culture, we use a hug if we meet someone. We rarely handshake people. We usually just hug, though they are elder or younger. We just hug them to show our love and our respect to them.
So how do you feel gestures like this represent your culture?
May you repeat the question?
Um, so how do you feel gestures like the salam represent your culture?
Well, in our culture, the salam usually mean nothing, but I already adapt it because I live in Malay for about, I live in Semenanjung with Malay people for about 1 year and a half already. So I always do that, and but I do not bring it back home.
Okay, so the last question. What is your family's conflict resolution style? For example, do you openly discuss issues or do you use more indirect approaches to avoid confrontation?
And for confrontation, we usually just approach them and try to solve any problem that we have because in my culture we usually speak a lot and we don't hide what's in our mind to talk to everybody, to talk to whoever we want to talk.
That is fascinating. So, how does this compare to how your friends or classmates from other cultures handle conflicts?
Well, in my experience, uh, time in Semenanjung mostly handle conflicts by keeping them to themselves. They did not speak it out loud. So we don't know what is the problem, what we need to repair. So that's not a good thing in my opinion. We need to be more brave and to be more responsible to talk if they have any conflicts or problem.
Alright, so that's all the questions I have for you. So next, I pass it to Sarah Khadijah for more questions.
Now I will start with my first question. Just now we have talked about how is your family resolution style. Currently, I will touch about what is your accommodation style of people from Sabah.
Well, our accommodation style in Sabah, we have many because in Sabah they have countryside, and we have the city side. So in city side, they usually live just like people in Semenanjung, but in countryside, we usually live a lot more not modern lifestyle because our food we need to catch it from the river or we plant ourselves, such as tomato, cabbage to eat, but it saves us a lot of cost. And our electricity, we rarely use them because in my places, day and night are very cold, so we don't even use fan to turn on anything electrical problem. And water is never a problem in my place because next, not next, but near my house or my village, they have a big river that is clean to take shower, to wash our clothes. So it is very easy for us.
Dah tutup.
I see that is very convenient since you could save up a lot of money on electricity, on food sources. Just now you mentioned that your house is near the river. So is there a possibilities that someone outside your culture come to the river as to tour? I mean, as a tourist there.
Well, there are a lot because the river connect a lot of district in Sabah, not only my village, so that tourists will go to the river, but not near my village. It will be a long way from my village, but it is still the same river.
I see. Moving on to the next question. Do your religion have significantly impact your conflict management style? If yes, what is the principle that influence your behaviors?
Well, as a Muslim Sabahan, I am struggling to adapt to make my prayer at my village because there are not many surau or mosques near my village because my village mostly are Christian, so there are a lot of church. So what I am trying to do is I just pray at my home, try to learn from online since we have online technology this day. That's all.
Do you face do you face difficulties since you say that the in the neighborhood there are not a lot of mosques built there? Are you influenced a little bit by the Christian community then?
Well, the difficulty I face is that during Jumaat prayer, I need to drive around 1 hour just to get to the mosque so that I can perform my Jumaat prayer. For the influence, I do not influence by the Christianity, but I know a lot of Christianity style and how they live because my family is also a Christian, so I know what they do for their daily life.
I see. You must have a strong belief then. Moving on to the next question. Are there any institutions in your hometown that were built to preserve their distinct identity? For example, Malay people built tahfiz or sekolah agama to preserve their strong religion belief. How about your hometown?
Well, in my hometown, for the religion belief, as I say, my village have many of Christian people. So there are many church and also Sunday school for Christian people. So I think that is the institute that show what is our hometown religious.
Do you think they built that to separate themselves from the other dominant group?
Well, in my opinion, my hometown built all of the Sunday school and church is not to separate from other dominant group because even next village or next district have more and many more people who is Christian rather than Muslim. So I think they do not separate themselves, but they build a connection to invite many more people to come or support any activities that is held.
I see. That's quite a new perspective for me. Moving on to the next question. Do you agree that gender difference can shape an individual's approach to resolving conflicts? If yes, could you give an example?
Well, for me, if there any conflict, gender difference is will be the main problem because men and women they do not think the same, they are not capable of the same thing. So, uh, in my opinion, men should do a man's work while women should do a woman's work because it shows that every gender have a thing that they are capable of.
So what is the example for a man, the thing that a man can do?
Well, the main the main thing is the man can do is men can be stronger, men can be more relevant to a heavy work, while women they are more capable on creativity work or the thinking style and even multitask. So that is one of the main example that I know.
I see. For the last question, have you ever experienced someone out of your culture invading your personal space unintentionally? If so, how do you deal with it?
As a Sabahan people in Semenanjung, Malaysia, most of my friends love to say out loud my culture's name, which is Bisaya. Or people will call me Sabah because I'm from Sabah. But I am not offended at all because that shows that I am unique here and people will know me very well and specifically know me individually.
Indeed, you are quite unique individual here in KPMSI. I think we have reached the end of our session. Thank you so much for spending your time together with us. I hope in the future that we could continue keep in touch with each other. That's all. Thank you again, Adam Shami.
All right, you're welcome.